Hey YouTubers, I hope this message finds everyone well. I was just wrapping up some things around the house tonight, getting ready to go back to work tomorrow, and I happened to pull this out of my one of my extended survival bags, and I'm actually referring to my inch bag, which is I'm never coming home again bag. But I happened to find this in there. And I always go through and like to inventory my bags every so often, but this is one of the items that I wanted to share with you guys, as well as my subscribers, that I thought might be beneficial to either your bag, or maybe if you've got two bags that you wanted to set something up more for long term. You know, I don't have my 3-day bag set up like my extended bag. They serve two completely different purposes. You know, this is not something I carry in my 3-day bag, you know, for the obvious reasons. My 3-day bag is designed for that sole purpose, and that's to get home. I'm not going to have time to stop and, you know, do some local fishing out of a stream. There's going to be a lot more things on my plate for me to worry about other than fishing. But anyway, this is actually my fishing kit. So I know you guys are going to have a lot of questions about the box, so let me go ahead and get that out of the way. Let's see. The box is M-E-I-H-O. I believe that's pronounced Mio. It's made in Japan. I picked this up at my local sporting goods store in the fly fishing department. But this yellow seal that goes all the way around the box, that does make it waterproof. So that way, if you were to drop it, you're fumbling around with it, trying to change something out, and you dropped it in the river or in the lake, whatever, it is going to float. So without further ado, let's go ahead and open this up. I'll go over those here in just a second. I'll go ahead and start by mentioning this particular kit actually had two sections of this. The other section was, of course, up here, and it wasn't going to fit that particular purpose with the other items that I want to carry, so I just simply popped that out, and I went to my local Walmart and I picked up these items that you see here on the left. I picked up a couple different size sinkers, some swivel hooks, different size hooks. Also found this there as well. I did want you know, a good float, you know, something high vis. That way, if I was fishing at night, it would be a little bit easier for me to see. And if I was near, you know, slower moving water, you know, a lake or just a small pool of area, you know, in a section of a stream. So the other items here up top and on the bottom are of different types of flies. And I'll explain the reason why that the flies that are in here in just a second. So let me move back to the items that I removed. This is actually fishing lead wire. I picked this up at Walmart, and it reminds you, if you've never seen this stuff before, it really reminds you of picture wire for hanging heavy pictures. It is exactly what it reminds you of. It's very thin wire that's been woven together. And I started thinking about it. Well, I could run a trout line with this, but what other purposes could I use it for? So I started thinking, you know, in all honesty, I'm in the beginning stages of learning snare techniques, and there's a lot of different types of techniques for building snares, but I thought that this is something that could definitely cross over into snare building. So I thought it was definitely going to be a good option for me to carry this in here, you know, in my kit. Now, the reason I did not throw this plastic bag away is because, first of all, this thing, I can do a lot of different uses with it, but my primary use for this was that for whatever reason, let's say I'm not having any luck with any of the flies that I've got in this kit here, you know, I can always revert back to the local wildlife, because the fish are eating what is local there. If I turn over enough rocks and enough rotten logs, I'm going to come across some grubs, some night crawlers, you know, things that the fish are already eating, and I can use that, you know, to add to, you know, my ability to hopefully be able to catch some dinner that night. So you know, I just want to point that out. That's the reason why I kept this plastic bag. One other thing that I'm actually going to put in this bag is I've got some other fishing wire that's on a larger spool, and I'm going to remove some of that, and I've just got to come up with a way in order to keep it without really getting knotted up. But I'm going to put some additional line inside of here so that I can add more length of yardage to my overall kit itself. And I think that that will be very beneficial. And of course, you know, fishing wire has a lot of different uses. You know, I could sew a wound up with this. You could use it for cordage. Now, granted, you can use the internals of paracord for fishing line. However, it really doesn't work quite the same, and also too, I really don't want to break down my paracord that I've got unless I absolutely have to. So anyway, this is a 15-pound test. It's only 30 yards. That's why I want to add more fishing wire to this particular kit. But the reason I picked this one up is because it is so thin, and in conjunction with the fishing wire, it fits perfectly inside of here, and then I can still close it, and it seals perfectly. So anyway, that's the reason why I chose this particular size of fishing line. Now let me go back to these boxes. I'll hold this guy up here so you can see a little bit better, at least the colors anyway. You can see the different flies that are inside, and the reason these flies were selected is the guy that he knows me pretty good at the sporting goods store. I spent a lot of money there, and I got to talking to him about what I wanted to do, and he's a like-minded individual, and he's been doing this for over 30 years, taking people on tours, teaching them how to fly fish. And you know, and I asked him, I said, man, if you only had 10 flies that you could select out of your entire store for the local streams in this area, which ones would it be? And these are the 10 that he selected specifically. He is an individual that I do trust in his knowledge, and so these are the reason that they're in this kit. So, you know, again, I'm not an avid fisher. You know, you may live in Arizona. These particular flies were selected for my area. They may work great in your area, but I would advise you to do something similar. Go to somebody who does this on a living, you know, or on a daily basis. Talk to some of your local guys, get on the internet and look at some forums in your local area and see what types of flies may work better for your area. Maybe you're in an area where there's not a whole lot of streams. Maybe there's only one main water source, and that's a primary lake. Well, the flies may not work as well as some other type of bait. Some of those baits happen to be a little bit larger, so this particular kit may or may not work for what you want it to. And you know, guys, I really do enjoy sharing this information with you guys, because I feel like that there's a lot of people out there that are like-minded individuals, and they may see this information, and you know, even though that this particular kit may not work for them, they may get an ideal from it that leads to something else that does work for them. And that really makes me feel good, because if it's something that can go to help you or your family, then that's really what this video is about. It's really about just sharing that information to help somebody else out. So anyway, if you guys think that this kit may be beneficial to one of your friends or family, you know, please share the video, please like it. If you think the video was great, please subscribe. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, and I'll try to get back to you guys as soon as possible. Thanks so much, and everybody have a wonderful day.